Hey guys, welcome back, and today Jason and I are out at the range with our PS90s. We're just going to call them P90s because they're half P90. They're short, they're just not full auto. He has a green machine and I have an original black, and that's about, you know, black's better, green sucks.
I thought you're all FDE and stuff.
Anything
but black.
Anything but black. Brown's a new black. Now, he has the green one, I have the black one. We both SBR'd our guns. And what we want to talk about this afternoon are the sights for the PS90s. P90s, dang it. P90. P90.
That's right, P90.
Get mad all you want. It's a P90 to us. For our P90s, when I got mine, I had the junky factory sight on it, same with Jason, and neither one of us shot our guns much. And then I stumbled across this company called Design Machine, which is a small shop that manufactures sight mounts for the PS90. For you guys without the SBRs, but it works with the SBRs too. So this is what the sight mount looks like. Now, Jason and I have both opted to go with Trijicon MROs, but you can see how nice and low that sets in there. Now, it may seem like it looks a little bit high, but it's actually in the exact right spot. Now, when I first got my gun, I first of all set out to SBR it, which I did almost immediately, but then I was trying to figure out a solution to that crappy sight.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really bad. Mine was plastic, junky, didn't hold zero, probably easily broken. And so I just wanted to get something on there. Never found a solution, so the gun got SBR'd and stuck in the safe. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, actually mine started with just a regular pick rail on it. I had absolutely
Didn't
no
even have a
sight
sight.
No.
So FN's gone through this metamorphosis where they sold them with really junky plastic sights, and they sold them with the military tritium sights, and then they sold them with pick rails. There's another version that's just a flat top, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
They had a different version of the gun. And so, yeah, it's just really hard to find a good optic for it. Now that Design Machine is making these mounts, which again are 130 bucks, man, it gives you a lot of options. They make them for a number of different red dot sights. We'll get more into that later in the video, but today we want to get these zeroed, get them sighted in, and play around a little bit with them. And now that I have an actual solution to shooting my SBR, I actually get a kick out of shooting these darn things.
I love them.
You've suppressed yours. What kind of can you got on there?
You know, I have my personal Recce 7. I'd love to do like a Recce 5 or, you know, some kind of 5.56 can on here, but this is my 30 cal can, and I put it on multiple guns.
Yeah, he runs that thing on everything.
Everything.
It's a great can. I have one of them. I'm probably, well, Jason was kind enough to get 2 mounts. Okay, this is how things work here. Jason was kind enough to get 2 mounts. He bought one for himself. He bought one for me, and he gave it to me. And I promptly put it in a place where I would not lose it. So I lost it. And
as per always, yeah.
Yeah, because I am like just that guy. I break everything, I lose everything. So I'm desperately looking for my mount so I can put a suppressor on mine. I'm probably going to try using one of the 22 cans that's 5.7 rated, so it'll be a little bit smaller. That or I'll put a Recce 5 on it or something, but that's another video. Today we're just going to get these zeroed out, get them shooting, play around on some plate racks, see if these little 5.7 rounds have enough energy to knock over some of the plates that we have calibrated for, what, 9mm and 45?
Yeah.
So it should be a good day, a lot of fun, guys, so stick around. And Jason and I are going to load up some magazines, do some zeroing, and then we're going to start banging away at some steel.
All right.
All right, let's get down to business. I have some American Eagle. This is their 40 grain full metal jacket round. They call it a TMJ round on the box, the big box that it ships in. On the little box, they call it a FMJ, full metal jacket. But this is the stuff. It's good stuff. I shoot it quite a bit. I've done some armor piercing tests, I think, with this ammo in the past. So that's what we're going to use today. I have my 50 round Freedom stick here, and here is my P90, and yes, I'm going to call it a P90, even though it doesn't have full auto capability. It has its short barrel, so it's half of a machine gun, I guess. This is a first generation gun, and it has the trigger pack in it that everybody seems to want for some reason. But I have the Trijicon MRO, which I really like these sights, guys. You've been seeing me talk about these sights quite a bit lately. I have several of them. When I go out to buy a new red dot sight, this is the sight that I'm picking up. Why? Because it's extremely durable. The issues I had early on with it was all user error. That was not putting the battery in properly and crushing the terminals. I've seen that happen quite a bit with people. Trijicon realized that pretty quickly and started shipping the sights with the batteries already installed, and then with a clear instruction manual to push the battery down into the terminal posts, then put the cap on. Don't just set the battery on the top, twist the cap on, because you're bound to crush those terminal posts. So outside of that, these have been awesome little sights. They always seem to hold zero, and I love the field of view they offer. It's not like looking through an Aimpoint T1 or T2 micro. Still love those sights, don't get me wrong. I just think they're ridiculously priced. These are about half the price of those. But when you look through this, you have a wide field of view. It's because your objective lens is bigger than your ocular lens. And so it just has that wide field of view that you would get like with something like an EOTech. So I really like it. I also like how the dial's set up here on the top. You have 6 different brightness levels. It can be used with night vision, but every third position or so, there's an off switch. So you can, like I like to run it in the position 3 or 4. Typically for daylight, that's about where I like the brightness. So it has an off position between 2 and 3. So I can quickly just go click, click, and it's on to the position 4 for bright sunlight. Very easy to use. And the battery life has been good in them. I've been using them now for, gosh, I guess a couple of years. I've never had to replace a battery in one of them yet, so we'll see how that continues to go. So the battery life seems to be pretty darn good on them. All right, so I have the design machine mount on the gun already. You can see that it sets nice and low. It may not look low. It looks like perhaps it's setting too high, but trust me when I say if they put it any lower, you would be pressing your cheek down too hard against the magazine of the P90 to get a proper sight picture. This is as low as you want it. It is perfect. So it locks up real good and tight, it seems. We'll find out. We'll see how it groups and see if it maintains 0. But that's what we're going to do right now is go ahead and zero the gun out. I have not fired it yet with the sight on. I have a target that's about 40 yards away. And there's my red dot. I'm going to kind of aim at an A on an IPSC target in the center chest area. I'm going to go ahead and charge the P90 here. Put the selector lever on fire. And let's just see where it hits. Yes, I do have a spotting scope over here because these little dinky rounds. my eyes are pretty good at distance, not so much up close, but I probably won't be able to see the bullet holes in the paper even at 40 yards. And I am right. I cannot see the bullet hole in the paper at 40 yards. All right, put the weapon on safe. Let's just see where we're at. All right. Left and right seems to be perfect. It's just elevation that's a little bit off. I can use the rim of a case to make adjustments to the Trijicon. Now, I always tell you guys this, when I get these things finally zeroed out, I'll take a paint pen, you can buy them off Amazon.com, and I'll run a white line, or whatever color you want, silver, black, whatever, black would be kind of hard to see, across the adjustment setting. So when you go to pick up your weapon, if you look at the sight and you see the paint lines not lined up, you know something's wrong. So I'm going to come up. Each click on these is what, is a half minute. So all right, weapon's back on safe. Let's take a look. Looks like it drifted left a little bit. I won't say it's shooting magnificent groups, but we're coming up closer to that A. So let's go ahead and get the elevation good. Then I'll worry about that windage. Holy cow, guys. I can see those holes, and I think I actually just put 2 rounds right into the letter A. I did. Yeah, that's a good group. So at 40 yards, this sucker's spot on. Now keep in mind, guys, the bullet has not crossed the line of sight. The sight does set quite a bit high, or a pretty good distance above the bore. So keep in mind, when you're looking at a target, your barrel's actually like this, okay? So the bullet's going to go up, cross the line of sight, come back down, cross the line of sight, and what you want to do is try to find a point of 0 where you're either, an acceptable distance under the target at close range, spot on at another range, and an acceptable distance at another range over the point of aim and then back under. And a lot of guys like to use 25-yard zeros or 50-yard zeros, and that gives them pretty much a center of mass hit out to 300 yards with something like a 5.56. This has similar ballistics in terms of velocity. So I'm going to go with this and see how it works. We'll walk it back to 100 yards or so and see if I can hit some of these little steel plates. If not, I'll make some minor adjustments, but it seems like this sucker's spot on right now. I'm sorry about the weird light conditions, guys. Today we have not a single cloud in the sky, but we have a lot of vegetation overhead, which is causing a bunch of weird shadows. And I happen to be wearing a black shirt, which cameras don't like, especially when you're sitting near something that's almost white. Kind of goofs the camera up, so I apologize for the bad lighting. But anyway, the shirt I'm wearing is Hero Hunt. And you hear me talk about these guys all the time. If you follow the link down below and either become an NRA member or renew your membership, plus they're running a special right now for $600 you become a life member. If you do that, the money that comes to me for you following that link goes to these guys, and they're an awesome group of folks. So please get in a fight and join the NRA. So here's the first 2 shots that I fired right here. Made some upward adjustments, second 2 shots. And then finally, my last 2 shots are right there on the A, right around 40, 45 yards or so. So the gun's all zeroed out and ready to do some playing around with it this afternoon. The rust we're using out here today to zero the guns is a rust you've seen quite a bit here on the channel. I've been using it for a couple of years. If you guys become a patron subscriber and support the Military Arms channel, we give you some blowout deals on things like this. This is a product I have been using for years myself. We found a really great deal on them, and we were selling complete kits brand new in the box to our patron subscribers for $50. Google that, guys, and you'll know just how good of a deal that is. And we've gotten deals on all sorts of cool stuff. So if you'd like to support us at the Military Arms channel, please swing by and check out our patron page. It's greatly appreciated, and we repay that gratitude by giving you guys blowout deals on stuff that you simply can't believe the prices on. So please consider swinging by and supporting us at Patreon.
All right, I'm going to try my luck at the challenge targets plate rack down there at about 50 yards as well. I have to say, I mean, this mount puts the sight at a perfect height. I mean, it really does. You have to experience it yourself to actually see maybe what we're talking about, but I mean, it really is nice. And the MRO really is nice as well.
Keep in mind, guys, the P90 is designed to be a personal defense weapon, which means it's small, somewhat concealable, very handy to carry, and it's meant to be used at handgun ranges or a little bit further. Now we're at definitely handgun ranges, and I'm going to see how my zero is holding against this against the 6-inch steel targets down here on the plate rack. See that? That one's still standing, so it looks like it's a little bit low. I might actually have to bring it up. What I want to do, hold on, let me put this one last steel plate down. It's driving me nuts. All right. So what I'm going to do is this target right over here, let's walk over to it. This is about the size of a man's chest, okay? So we're going to go back 75 yards, maybe even 100 yards, shoot offhand and see where we hit on this steel plate and kind of push the limits of what this little gun's really intended for. So let's go do that now. All right, so we're back at the 75-yard line. I'm just going to fire offhand really quickly on that man-size steel challenge target down there. And by the way, guys, down below we do have a discount code if you want to pick up your own challenge targets. We don't get any kickbacks from that. That's just a favor from Challenge Target to our viewers, our audience. So take advantage of that discount if you want to. These targets are awesome. All right, let's see if I can hit that guy offhand, just kind of shooting quickly and see where it lands if I do a dead hold. The group looks like it's about that much high if I'm holding dead center. So it's a fast moving bullet. The sight does sit quite a bit over bore. So trying to find that sweet spot is pretty hard, but I would say that's center of mass. So if you're going to shoot at a two-legged varmint that might be attacking you, it seems like the thing is zeroed pretty good, as close as 20 yards, back to 75 yards, and it's easy to hit a man-sized target. A bad guy only, though. See if I can hit that little tiny round one. I have to aim at the bottom edge. God, that trigger is atrocious. Yeah, I hit that little ringer every single time, but what I'm doing is aiming at the bottom edge of it, so it's definitely shooting a little bit high at 75 yards. Totally usable, though. While I have your guys' attention, let's talk a little bit about the P90 and how it works and how it breaks down and some of the features of the gun. So first of all, you can see this weapon's hot, it's loaded. The safety is right here. It's a little rotating safety. If it was a machine gun, it'd have one extra position for full auto, so it's just safe and fire. The white S is safe. Round chambered. So what's cool about it is, first of all, this is a 50-round magazine, and they do have state-compliant magazines. There's 30-round magazines. I think they even make a 10-round magazine. This is a 50, that's its normal capacity. And you see how the rounds are held in there horizontally. To release the magazine from the gun, you have these little ears on either side of the magazine. You just kind of pinch and pull back, and the magazine just pops up, comes right out of the gun. Now I'm going to talk about this here in a second, but you can see how this round and what its orientation is to the barrel. It's lined up with the barrel, but if you look at the rounds in the top, they're sideways. I'll show you more about that here in a second. Now, as I've mentioned, the gun's a straight blowback, and this is its bolt right here. It has a charging handle that's identical on both sides of the gun. The charging handle is right here. And again, it's identical on both sides of the gun. I'm going to grab it on the opposite side here, and when I pull it back, you're going to see the round come out of the chamber. See that round right there? And now it's going to kick itself down the ejection port right into my hand. So it's really kind of cool. The rounds pass straight through the gun, feed from the top, fire, and get shot straight out the bottom. It's really rather ingenious. While we got the gun unloaded, let's go ahead and take it apart. I'll show you how easy it is. The gun's super simple, and this is technically a bullpup. It does have backup iron sights on both left and right hand side. There's a little notch here and a little blade here. It's kind of hard to see. I've noticed, at least on my gun, they're horribly off. I mean, maybe at 20 yards you might be able to hit a man in the chest with it, but it's not zeroed for any distance at all. This is your takedown button right here. After you got the weapon clear, you just push this button down and push forward, and that receiver just pulls away from the gun. The one and only feature of this sling that I like is the fact that you just push a button and it comes off and it frees the sling up from the receiver. You can see how the design machine mount stays mounted to the receiver. I'm going to set that aside. Now your bolt's right here. All you have to do is move your bolt forward like that, and you'll free up your end plate. Let's go ahead and take the bolt out. As I mentioned, this gun is a straight blowback. That's how it works. Very simple mechanism. Set that aside, but you'll notice this little dingus right here. This protrudes into the rear butt plate that holds the rear end of the gun together. So when this comes out, the butt plate's free to come off the gun. All you have to do is just push up on it. It'll slide out. There's the hole where that little dingus holds it in place. And inside, this is your trigger group. You have this little lever thing right there. You're going to want to push up on that. You kind of pinch it and then pull your trigger mechanism out. And this is where you guys get insanely jealous. For those of you guys that know what this is a first generation trigger pack. I bought this gun early on, and how FN got this thing into the country legally, I'll never know, because this, for all intents and purposes, is a machine gun trigger pack. They've since changed it. If you ever send your gun in for service with this trigger pack, they will take it out of the gun, keep it, and send you one of the current generation ones. So if you have one, hold on to it. I'm not telling you to go out and make an illegal machine gun. Actually, I'm telling you not to do it. But these trigger packs command a premium. You can sell this trigger pack for what you can buy a really nice gun for. So it just adds to the collectability of the gun. Don't go screwing around with the NFA and break that law. I don't agree with it, but it is not worth 10 years of your life screwing around with these trigger packs. All right? So, put the trigger pack back in, pinch it, drop it in, slide my butt plate back into place, take the bolt, slide it into the receiver, like that, take the receiver, slides into place, push the button down, locks together, and your gun's back together, guys. It's that simple to maintain. It's a very, very unique weapon. Now let's talk about that magazine for a second. So, rounds up and down, but then when you take a look on the other side, the round's facing forward and lined up with the barrel, as you can see here. You can see how that round is lined up for it to feed, even though the ones on top aren't. They're pointed, the nose of the bullets are pointed towards my face. If you take a look at this magazine, now watch what happens to this bullet, this cartridge. You think I just started shooting yesterday. I'm going to push this cartridge down. It's very easy to load the magazine, but watch how it turns. I'm trying to do it slow enough. It happens really fast, but you can kind of see how that round turns as it comes up. And that's the magic of the magazine. Now I will say, guys, I've had this gun for a long time, and despite what I've said in the video, I have shot it in the past. I get a kick out of it. The ammunition's kind of expensive at times, but I've never had a malfunction with one. I don't think Jason's ever had a malfunction with his gun. I've even shot full auto versions of this gun in the past. I've never seen the gun malfunction, so any concerns I had about the magazine, erased. These guns are insanely reliable in my experience. One last thing, since we're talking about experience, set this weapon aside. Here are the ears that you guys have been seeing here on the channel quite a bit. I've been getting a lot of questions. Oh, Mac, are those the new, TAC Sport 100s? Are those the new 500s? Are those the MSA Swordens? Are those the TCI Safarilands? Yes. And the reason you keep seeing me wearing different hearing protection over the last few months is because I'm actually testing this hearing protection. I'm taking a look at the super high-end stuff. This is $405 from Safariland. They look an awful lot like the MSA Swordens. These are the MSA Swordens, my second pair. These are not inexpensive, but they're about $50 less than the TCI Safarilands. Even though they look similar, they're not. The Safarilands are superior ears in every aspect. These are garbage. Don't buy them. I'll just tell you that right now. Still evaluating these. And these are the 100 series Peltors, and I've had very good luck with these. I'm really liking them for an ear that's only about $50, 50 or $60. Well worth the money. Very feature rich, outstanding hearing protection, and outstanding digital audio. And these are the new 500s, and I really like these. Now, they're a little bit thicker. These replaced my old ears you saw me using for many years here on the Military Arms channel, the old Tactical Sports. These are just the 500 series. These have Bluetooth connectivity. I can actually take phone calls with this headset on. I can listen to music. Anything that's a Bluetooth device can connect to it. A little bit thicker, very good hearing protection. The audio blows away all the other ears here on the table. And the one thing that I've noticed about them is that not only is the audio crystal clear and you have all your depth perception, which you also have with the TCIs. I really like these ears, but they're really expensive. But these sound better when I have them on and I'm actually talking. It doesn't sound like I'm talking with my fingers in my ears like with most hearing protection, like the Howard Lights and stuff. When you're talking loudly because it feels like you have your fingers in your ears. When you have these on, it's very natural sounding. It's hard to describe, but I'm really digging the 500 series, even though they're just a little bit thick. You might have to worry about bumping them up against a stock on a rifle. So far, I haven't had a problem with them breaking a seal, but I'll give you guys more information on the ears after I'm done evaluating them. But give me a few months, guys. I don't like to say, take something right out of the box and go, this is awesome, because that's not honest.
All right, I'm gonna give mine a shot here. Same 75 yards or so. So it looks like I'm grouping about the same. A little high. Be curious to see what kind of impact shift's going to happen when I take this Recce 7 off. I'm going to shift to the other half man size. Seem to bring it on center. Very nice. So with the suppressor I can hit, without a suppressor I can hit as well. Very nice. So I really like the way this design machine mount allows you to go up quickly, acquire your target, and shoot. It's very nice, great height. Man, that really makes this gun fun to shoot. I'm glad I finally pulled it out of the safe. Thanks to Design Machine for getting me a good mount.
Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed coming out this afternoon, doing a little bit of shooting with Jason and I hope you enjoyed taking a look at the design machine mount for the P90 or PS90. They're 130 bucks, in my opinion, well worth it. I've locked this sucker down. It has 4 screws on either side. Lock those down with Loctite. The mount is rock solid, and then I Loctited the screws to the MRO, so I don't think it's going anywhere. I'm definitely going to leave my MRO on my P90, and so the design machine mount's here to stay on my gun. Jason, what'd you think of the mount?
I really like it. It comes with some solid screws and also some lock washers, plus the Loctite. This thing isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, I really think it's worth it, guys. If you have a PS90 and you're looking for a way to mount a red dot sight that sets the sight down low enough where you're not doing, the Russian optic on an 8K type hunting around and wanting to tape, big things of styrofoam to the stock of your PS90 so you can get a proper cheek weld, check out the design machine mounts. I really think that they're cool, man. And also you're supporting a small machine shop that's really trying to do some innovative stuff. I'm glad I found them. Guys, if you would like to support us here at the Military Arms Channel, just swing by and check out Copper Custom. It's our online store. If you go by there and shop, we have a brand new website that we just launched. And I think I'm biased, but I think it's the best looking site on the internet right now as it relates to online gun shops. So please swing by, check it out. Tell us what you think about the new site. Also, guys, please check out full30.com. That's full30.com. It's kind of the YouTube of the gun world that everybody wants. It's full30.com. It's pretty easy to find. Swing by, check it out. All the best firearms content creators out there can be found right there at full30.com. Guys, thanks a lot for all the support. Thank you to my patron members. You guys rock, and I hope that you guys have a very fun and safe 4th of July. I don't know if this video is going to go live before the 4th. It may go live a day or two after. So I hope you guys had a great 4th of July. Sometimes we film these videos days or weeks in advance. But anyway, guys, thanks again for all that support. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks for watching.